you have the Chiefs, you have the Bills rematching. We saw the Chiefs win earlier in the season, and now you have the Bucks and the Packers. The Bucks blew them out. The first time they played, the Packers didn't really have much of a chance. What would, though, Tom Brady, if he got a 7th ring, if they beat the Packers this weekend and then they beat the Bills and the Chiefs, what would a 7th ring mean for his legacy?
I think a 7th ring for Tom Brady's legacy, like, of course, everybody's immediately going to jump to, that closes the GOAT discussion, that immediately already brings it, to where it's all for Tom Brady. He's the greatest player of all time. But I think more than anything, I think it shows that obviously he won the Brady-Belichick divorce. I mean, you look at him over in the NFC first year over there, NFC Championship, 14th title game. And I even made a post today on, shout out to a great app called Sports Me. If you want to talk about sports all day, every day, check out the Sports Me app. Super duper cool. I said, man, the 4 quarterbacks left between Brady, Rodgers, Mahomes, and Allen, I feel like I would take Tom Brady out of everybody left because of the experience, what he's been through, what he's going to have to do, and the knowledge more than anything. I feel like Tom Brady is the smartest quarterback left in these playoffs. But without question, a 7th ring for Tom Brady's legacy would just really bring it into perspective for everybody how special and how gifted this quarterback truly is, because we might not ever see a run like this from a player ever again. You're talking about a guy going to double-digit Super Bowls, winning 70% of those. If he wins the Super Bowl this year, do y'all realize that? Plenty of people don't even get to play the amount of playoff games Tom Brady's been in, let alone him winning 34 games, absolutely 34, 31, whatever it may be for playoffs. But Brady winning that 7th ring really just, it cements him. Could anyone really leapfrog Brady? What would they have to do to be on Tom Brady's level? Because it is ridiculous what Tom Brady has done. Even after the age of 37, his numbers after the age of 37 are comparable to Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Ben Roethlisberger's, Peyton Manning's playoff numbers overall, man. That's the longevity that Tom Brady has in this game. So him winning number 7 would it would ultimately cement him to where he would have his own level. It would be the level of Tom Brady is how high he would be in the game of football.
No Absolutely, question. Man. Love the breakdown, Adam. You guys got to check him out. What's Offseason Podcast. He gives takes like this, but literally every day. Follow him on every social media platform. But Adam, just to piggyback off what you're saying, Tom Brady, to me, he's making it where people think quarterbacks are all going to be able to play in their 40s. Every guy's going to come in the league and play till they're 40 years old. Tom Brady has shown people that even the greatest coach in the world or in the NFL, Bill Belichick, without him, without the quarterback, there ain't much he can do. He's not getting to the playoffs. Exactly. He's shown everybody the Bucs organization is in the playoffs this season. Ain't that something?
Absolutely.
And Bruce Arians, I'm glad he's finally maturing as a head coach, if you ask me. Finally saying sometimes I let Brady do his thing. That should have been since day one.
Right.
Bruce Arians, and he's probably a good guy, but in the beginning, when he was kind of sneak dissing Brady, calling him out, I'm like, dude, you kind of have to know your place. This isn't Matt Ryan. This isn't some of these other guys who never won, Stafford or even Rivers. I love Rivers, but he's not one of those guys. You feel me? He's won championships before. You can't talk to him like he's Jameis Winston. Okay? Right. You had your opportunity last season to bring Jameis Winston and groom him and bring him to the playoffs, and you didn't do that.
Right.
But now with Tom Brady, all of a sudden the Bucs are 1 game away from the Super Bowl. Think about it, 1 game away from the Super Bowl. So Tom Brady's showing me that this 7th ring, he gets the 7th championship, he's over LeBron James. He's over Michael Jordan. I can say that with confidence. He's the best player of this era. I love LeBron James, but he ain't got nothing on Tom Brady.
Absolutely.
When Tom Brady put any team on his back,
right.
Put Tom Brady anywhere that goes to the playoffs. I don't care who the coach is. You make the coach look good. That's what we're dealing with Tom Brady, man. And you know what? I don't even like Tom Brady.
That's what makes Brady so special is he could overcome bad coaching if he had to. Luckily, he's never really had bad coaching. Tampa Bay is probably the most, obviously, with only being the second. Excuse me. With only being the second team he's ever been with, going through that rigid coaching. I mean, thought I had to sneeze again, but going through some of that rigid coaching and still being able to, Bruce Arians even just came out and said it. Sometimes he just sits back at practice and he just lets Brady do his thing because he knows how gifted of a player Tom Brady is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's talk about his own player, Jameis Winston. Let's talk about your team. Is there any chance, Adam, I know you pay attention to the Saints the most out of anybody I know. Is there any chance Jameis Winston gets the starting job next year for the Saints?
100%. There's definitely a chance that Jameis Winston gets a starting job next year for the Saints. And here's why, man. Sean Payton brought him in because he actually realized, he saw something in Jameis, kind of like when he invested in Taysom Hill, kind of like when he invested in Drew Brees. Sean Payton has this track record of investing in players that might not necessarily be favored. You look at Drew Brees with the shoulder. You look at Jameis Winston off of throwing 30 interceptions and 5,000 yards, believed in him to bring him into the organization. You look at Taysom Hill, picking him up as a special teams guy off of waivers with the Packers in 2017. He sees something in Jameis. He wants to be able to develop him to have some sort of role, I believe, in New Orleans offense. And I know he's only there on a 1 year, I'm pretty sure, and on a really, really cheap deal. It's pennies to the Saints, probably what they're doing for Jameis and what they're paying him. But there's definitely a chance that Jameis could be the starter next year because this guy's talented. He brings to the table what you need in a quarterback today in the NFL. But the one thing that Jameis has always had a problem with is decision making. And that's one thing that I feel like, when Jameis came over, I actually had a good friend of mine ask me, what do you think about Jameis Winston coming to the Saints? And I said, Jameis said, it's like going to Harvard and getting your quarterback degree, being able to learn from Sean Payton and Drew Brees. So they've obviously got something in store for him. Crazy enough, I might be the only Saints fan out there that's saying that I actually want Taysom Hill to be the future of the Saints because he's so explosive, so dynamic. I feel like he is a cut of what you need in raw talent in the NFL for the quarterback position today. So that's where I would like to see it go. But Jameis definitely has a chance to represent New Orleans next year as the QB1.
Yeah, man, I think Jameis had hurt his confidence a little bit when Taysom Hill was put in and not him. But at the end of the day, I think that's going to motivate him. I do think Sean Payton has a plan for him. I do think he's matured since leaving the Bucs. I do think Sean Payton's a better coach than Bruce Arians. Okay, no matter how things shape up.
Of course.
And if Jameis can somehow, some way, just take those 30 interceptions, divide it by 2, maybe divide that again by 2, probably won't happen. But let's just say get it to 11 or 12.
Right.
He should be okay because remember, he threw 5,000 passing yards, 33 touchdown passes. We can't act like this guy can't ball. The problem, like you said, decision-making is either a touchdown or it's a pick 6.
Right.
He needs to figure out a middle ground. Can you throw the ball away? Too Jekyll and Hyde, but he'll have an opportunity. But I will not be surprised if the Saints draft a quarterback, man. I would not be surprised. They draft one late in the first round or they trade up. I feel like you guys might do that because young quarterback, it won't be a bad situation for you guys. Have a great defense. I don't think you guys allowed a 300-yard passer in 2020. I was hearing that stat. That's crazy. In this day and age, that's crazy. So you guys have a squad. Alvin Kamara is an all-pro-like player. Michael Thomas, Saints people are saying he was hurt that game. When he's not hurt, he's a top 5 receiver, maybe top 3. Depends how you look at it. So you guys have pieces. If you can just get a quarterback in there who could be competent, maybe a young spark, I think things could work out for you guys. Still be a playoff team. Maybe still win the division next year. That's how I look when I look at you guys. You guys aren't far off.
A lot of money to figure out for the Saints. It's going to be an interesting year. It's going to be a really interesting year to see what the Saints can do with their entire situation.
Absolutely. Let's talk about Patrick Mahomes. He suffered a concussion against Cleveland. They still won the game. I guess anything is possible. Now they got the Bills. It's a different monster. The Bills and their defense. Does Patrick Mahomes start Sunday?
Oh, yeah, man, absolutely. The news did break that he actually did clear concussion protocol. So he is going to be starting Sunday for sure. But what can we expect out of Patrick Mahomes? Is he going to be 70%? Is he going to be 80%? What version of Mahomes are we going to get? Because we know that we've seen this streakiness of Patrick Mahomes in the past where they might start slow. He's throwing inaccurate passes. You look against the Dolphins, the interceptions early on, and they still win the football game. And that's what makes Patrick Mahomes so special. So what if he does come out and hell, what if he plays the best postseason game he's ever played? Because this is the type of magic that people feel like Patrick Mahomes really has. This is the pedestal that he's already on. So the expectations are there for Patrick Mahomes, even with him being hurt. Like Chiefs fans are 100% without question wanting them to win the Super Bowl this year. And they should be, as any fan base should, but there's still no excuses on the table for Patrick Mahomes. He is going to start that game. And I think he'll play a good game. I've got the Chiefs winning that football game. And really because the Bills have no help on the ground and they try to put it all on Josh Allen's shoulders. So I'm going to take Mahomes, Andy Reid, and those Chiefs to go to their second straight Super Bowl.
I want the Bills to make the Super Bowl just to prove a point that with the Josh Allen thing. That's what I want to happen But I'm with you, Adam. I don't think it's going to happen. I like the experience with Andy Reid. He's been there, done that. He has the confidence winning a championship. I think Patrick Mahomes does enough. They'll get the running game. Le'Veon Bell and them guys back there, I think they'll change it up a little bit. Shotgun runs have been successful for the Chiefs. I think Tyreek Hill has a pretty good game. And look, the Bills' offense, they weren't really that good if you think about it last week, okay, against the Ravens.
Right.
So it's like, I don't know, man. I think they need, if they can't get the running game going, then it's a wrap for them. Josh Allen needs to be perfect. He needs to be perfect. It needs to be a 400-yard passing game. Stephon Diggs needs to show up. He needs to have like 2 touchdowns that game if they're going to beat the Chiefs. I hope they do it. I hope they do it, Adam. I'm praying on it. I hope the Chiefs lose. I said they weren't getting out of the AFC. I hope I'm right. I just don't feel like it's going to happen. I remember the first matchup, Adam, I was not pleased at all. Right. Josh Allen struggled. The Chiefs defense showed up. And that's the thing about the Chiefs is they're not just getting you on offense. That defense is confident. That defense can rush the passer. They can play in the secondary. They can get turnovers. They remind me a little bit like your Saints without the blitzing. That's what they remind me of when you guys won the Super Bowl. So the Chiefs are scary good. I just want to see what the health is looking like for Patrick Mahomes. Maybe that'll make the game even closer. But the Bills could be in trouble if they don't find a running game. And Josh Allen throws a pick early, man. I think the Chiefs will win as well, too. I'm hoping and praying on the Bills to win, but I think the Chiefs will win.
I agree, man. I totally agree. This is Kansas City's game to lose. Now that we know that Mahomes is going to start this game, and I think it's going to be a hell of a game this Sunday.
Absolutely. I'm Jansen Harris here with the Final Play on the Just Good Network. Follow Adam with the What's Off Season podcast literally everywhere. He's dropping content every single day. He's working, man. You could tell. Just hear him. He's one of the best broadcasters out here, man.